Hi, my name's Renata. Welcome to my YouTube channel, which is dedicated to intercultural communication and expat life, job search across cultures, and foreign language learning. As part of the foreign language learning series Improve Your English, I'm publishing one more video for you to learn how to instantly improve your English by using one of those three words, either an idiom or phrasal verb or an executive vocabulary word. I present to you one of these every 2 weeks, and then you got time to practice them and put them into your sentences all day long. So, as always, I'm going to share my screen with you and show you what my three words for this week are. As always, I've put them in a sentence or a situation, and this time, here is our situation. When we arrived at the restaurant, I made a beeline for the last empty table. I didn't realize my faux pas until one of the guests who had been waiting for the table got at me for jumping the line. Now, if you've seen some of those videos, you probably can guess where the idiom is, what the phrasal verb is, and what our executive vocabulary word of today is. Well, let's have a look. What is the idiom in this sentence or in this situation? Our idiom is to make a beeline for. So I made a beeline for the last empty table. We'll discuss what that means in just a minute. Our phrasal verb of today is to get at someone. Here, the guest got at me. And our executive vocabulary word of today is faux pas. Let's discuss what they mean and how you can use them. Let's start with the idiom. To make a beeline for something. Beeline. Yes, the word bee is in it. And yes, it refers to exactly this animal. So the bee sees the flower and the bee decided to make a beeline for the flower. So I don't know if it's true, but we always assume that a bee would go the most direct way or would take the fastest, almost direct route to the flower. It wouldn't go round and round and round. Let's go left and right and then to the flower. No, go straight for the flower. See it, go straight for it. Whenever we focus on something, see something, and without a detour, we go straight for it. We take the fastest, most direct route. That's when we make a beeline for something. Like in this case, the bee made a beeline for the flower. So next time you want to go straight for something without detours, not left, not right, just straight to your goal or whatever you're focusing on, you can say you make a beeline for it. All right, that's our idiom for today. Let's move on to the phrasal verb, to get at someone. Now, with phrasal verbs, they can often have many different meanings. And get at, if you look it up online, please do, you'll see it has other meanings too. But in our sentence, get at meant to attack or criticize someone. So, like in this example, the teenager could say, I don't understand why my parents always get at me for being lazy. Well, maybe because he is lazy, but they get at him, meaning they yell at him, they criticize, they verbally attack. So whenever you feel like you're under attack, somebody is criticizing you, yelling at you, that person is getting at you. To get at, meaning to attack or criticize. And finally, our executive vocabulary word of today is faux pas. Now, this is actually a French word or two French words that we stole and we use in English. The word faux, actually the original pronunciation, not faux, that's how we say in English. In French, it would be faux pas. So the word faux means fake or wrong or incorrect, and the word pas means step. So faux pas actually means wrong step if we literally translate from French. So you take a step, meaning you make a decision, you decide to do something, and that turns out to be the wrong thing to do. That's when you made a faux pas. So faux pas is just a fancy word for mistake, blunder, or maybe a lapse of judgment. You just decided to do the wrong thing. For example, you could say asking him for help when he was totally stressed out was a faux pas, meaning I should have waited until he was relaxed and then maybe he would have said yes. But since he was totally stressed out, he probably said no. So asking him during that situation was a faux pas. It was a mistake, a blunder, or a lapse of judgment. Now let's go back to our original situation, our sentences here. As always, I could have said this with easier words. Yes, I could have said, when we arrived at the restaurant, I went straight for the last empty table, or I went directly to the last empty table. I didn't realize my mistake until one of the guests who had been waiting for the table yelled at me or verbally attacked me for jumping the line. But doesn't it sound nicer, better if you say, when we arrived at the restaurant, I made a beeline for the last empty table. I didn't realize my faux pas until one of the guests who had been waiting for the table got at me for jumping the line. And as always, I didn't intend for this to be another word, but if you were wondering jumping the line, well, just in case, jumping the line means not respecting the wait list. So when people are waiting, there is a line, or you could call it a queue. And if you're standing in line, you respect the wait list. Well, who comes first goes first. But if you come last and go first, that's when you're trying to jump the line. It's not a surprise that people will get at you when you do that. A lot of new words, so it's your turn to study those words and expressions, to practice and put them into sentences all day long, all week long. Well, you got 2 weeks until the next video, and to succeed in improving your English by using these 3 types of words. If you want to find me online, you can do so by looking for my name, Renate Urban, or my company name, Urban Training and Services. You can connect with me by visiting my website or by connecting with me on LinkedIn. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the new words and expressions for this week. I'll see you again next time. And if you like the channel, please subscribe and come back for the next video. Thank you very much and goodbye.